Plenty of people, including myself, love the happy-go-lucky side of Yuji Itadori's personality. It's part of why we came to know and love him. Unfortunately, we don't get to see that nearly as much throughout the later parts of the series, and it's kind of easy to understand why when you look back and realize that most of the things that have happened to him have been pretty tragic. But at least he made some good friends along the way. Oh. Yeah, even that doesn't turn out that great sometimes. Don't worry, we're going to be back to Papa Smurf here in a sec. And just so everybody's aware from the get-go, the overall tone and atmosphere of this video is not going to match the tragic events that we're going to be talking about. But since I already brought up the video, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more Jujutsu Kaisen content. It helps out and means a ton, but let's get into it. So it probably didn't take a super genius to figure out this series wasn't going to be very nice to Yuji when the first thing that happens to him is he's told he's going to be executed. Well, the first thing that happens to him after he ingests a relic that is born from the body part of the King of Curses himself. Yeah, things didn't start off on a very good foot for our boy Yuji, but at least he got to pick the date of his execution, and that news should have prepared him at least a little bit for what was going to happen next. By which I mean he literally dies. Yeah, I'm gonna take back what I previously said about getting to pick the date of his execution. Apparently Sukuna was gonna make that decision for him. And yeah, he did come back, but he didn't know that at the time, and that was traumatic. And even after he did come back, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a pleasant process to go through. Oh, hey, would you look at the time? We're already back to Papa Junpei Smurf. So yeah, after Yuji literally dies, things start to look up a little bit. We make a friend, his friend has a hot mom, she makes food, we have similar interests, he has a hot mom. So yeah, things are going great with our new pal Junpei until Mahito decides to do what Mahito does best. You know, try to make Yuji hate his life as much as possible. And of course, Sukuna is gonna jump in and join the party, while these two start bullying this kid because his friend died. My god. Honestly, if I'm Yuji at this point in the series, I'm probably doing what Nanami originally did. I'm just gonna go make a lot of money and plan on retiring, moving to some tropical island. That's what I'm gonna do. At this point, I'm out. I don't even care if I still got Sukuna in my body. I'm gonna go off the grid. You ain't gonna find me. What am I talking about? They're gonna find me and kill me. I'm kidding myself. And of course, this isn't the only traumatic event that Mahito had in store. Yuji still had to deal with the three amigos, the three musketeers, the three stooges, Ed, Ed, and Eddie, whatever you want to call them. Now, if I'm being entirely honest, from my perspective, it's kind of hard to call those things people anymore, so if I'm Yuji Itadori, the three amigos are probably getting annihilated immediately. But Yuji is much more compassionate than I am, so this is not a very good time for him. But enough about Yuji killing people, because we have people trying to kill Yuji. Yeah, the Kyoto Sister School event involved the entire sister school trying to kill Yuji, besides Todo. And at least we made friends with Todo. And if I'm being entirely honest, we kinda just kissed and made up and played a game of baseball. So yeah, the Goodwill event really actually wasn't that bad. Moving on, back to Yuji killing people. In Yuji's defense, basically anytime he kills something that can be considered a human, it's pretty much in self-defense, so it's not like he's just maliciously going out and doing this to people. He's a pretty nice person, and it really weighs on his conscience. Honestly, Yuji killing Choso's brother and the three amigos really isn't the most traumatic thing to happen, especially when you compare it to things in anime and manga. We have read and watched very, very many very, very messed up things happen. Very traumatic for a lot of characters. These are not super high up on that list, but remember, Yuji was recently living the life of a normal high school kid, and he is a very compassionate person. One of the last things he wants to do is just hurt or kill people. He's perfectly fine when it's a curse. It's a curse. It's not a person. That causes a huge mental and emotional hang-up for Yuji, so these things really stick with him, they really affect him. Now once again, Yuji killing people definitely was not his fault this time. He was not even the person in control of his body. Sukuna was the one doing it, Sukuna was the one that did it, but Yuji was the one that had to deal with the emotional problems, the trauma that came with it. Of course, I'm talking about when Sukuna dropped a bomb on Shibuya, otherwise known as his domain expansion, otherwise known as Malevolent Shrine. Yeah, Yuji personally felt responsible and guilty for all of these deaths. I haven't really been explaining why any of these things are traumatic because I don't really need to. It's kind of self-explanatory if you think about them. This one, I definitely do not need to explain to anybody why mass murder weighing on your conscience would be traumatic. Unless you're a little bit unhinged in the head, you might have some problems. Stop watching YouTube, go to a counselor. I'm serious. Go to a counselor, please. But hey, after feeling responsible for mass murder, this has to be rock bottom. We can only go up, right? Yeah, remember what I said earlier about Mahito doing what Mahito does best? Making Yuji hate his life as much as possible? Yeah, that's coming full circle right now. Honestly, I'm still mad at Mahito for this one. How dare you take Nanami away from us, you terrible piece of shit! The next entry on this list is actually still up in the air for plenty of fans, but for Yuji, he definitely feels the full traumatic effect from it, whether it actually has happened or not. The death of Kugasaki Nobara. Once again, Mahito, you piece of shit! Again, don't need to explain why things are traumatic for Yuji, most of them are pretty self-explanatory, including this one, but seriously, Kugasaki and Megami were the first two friends that this kid made when he got yanked out of his normal life and shoved into this screwed up weird Jujutsu Sorcerer life. Losing either one of them is going to be massive for this kid. I don't even really know how to make this one funny. Yeah, this one had to mess with Yuji big time. But we're gonna bring everything full circle right now because we get out of the Shibuya incident, we're definitely at rock bottom. No way anything else is gonna happen. Enough has happened to Yuji. He has suffered enough. He's fine, he's okay, we're good. Until he literally dies again. Seriously, this kid cannot catch a break. Once again, yes, he comes back, but Yuji, when he dies, does not know he is gonna come back. And once again, I don't think even after he comes back, he would reflect on the experience and go, you know, that was kind of nice. Kind of like a trip to the spa. You know what? You mind doing that like 6 months from now? I get this kink in my neck, and yeah, that like really worked it out. I don't think that's his reaction even after he comes back. Probably thankful to be alive, probably still pretty traumatic. So yeah, it's pretty easy to understand why nowadays we get to see a lot more of this Yuji than we do of this Yuji. That and, you know, the current events going on like the culling game and all of that and Gojo being sealed, not really a whole lot of time for everybody to be happy-go-lucky. But with that being said, I hope at some point we do get to see at least a little bit of a smile return to Yuji's face. Not holding my breath though. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.